for Senate, narrowly defeating moderate Haley Stevens. It's a victory for the Democrats' progressive wing, but El-Sayed says all the Democrats need to turn out in November.
Whatever differences that we might have had in the primary, they pale in comparison to what unifies us. A recognition that so long as we want to keep our democracy, that democracy better be working for people, and that all of us have to come together to make sure that we never let Mike Rogers see the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Stevens says she will support El-Sayed in November. President Trump saying again that they're making progress on negotiations with Iran. He's also teasing a possible announcement about the Strait of Hormuz, saying it could reopen within the next 48 hours. A 38-year-old man facing state and federal charges makes his first court appearance today. He was arrested at the Trump golf course near Los Angeles a few days ago, taking pictures and videos. Police also found hollow bullets on his person. This is ABC News. ABC News learning of additional cyber attacks against U.S. water facilities across the country. Here's ABC Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky.
We just heard in the last couple of hours from the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security that 2 municipal water systems in the state were affected. New Jersey did not name the municipal water systems, probably because they don't want to cause any panic, because they say customers had uninterrupted access to their drinking water. A couple of the systems did go on manual controls. That means the hack was successful in shutting down some automated systems. That was quickly recognized. They figured out how to revert to manual controls, and that's what was done so that the water supply was never put at risk.
Scientists at a biotech company have used a Nobel Prize-winning gene editing tool to create 2 hypoallergenic beagles. Alfie and Bailey were born healthy and are 2 years old. Their owner isn't sneezing. It's the first time the technique has worked on dogs. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The first results are in from the state primary, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm seeing major delays in both directions for the Hood Canal Bridge. There's some heavy brake lights on eastbound 104. The 2 right lanes are blocked on northbound 405 right at the Family Fun Center. That's because of emergency work there. Brake lights are from 180th down to the South Center Hill, so it'll take you at least 50 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Westbound 512, also heavy congestion. Lake bridges are clear. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. 2 closely watched congressional races are now set for November. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports political analysts are keeping a close eye.
In the state's 9th district, incumbent Democrat Adam Smith easily led his primary with 51% of the vote. He'll face Republican Doug Bassler this fall, who finished with 29%. Independent Shama Sawant placed a distant 3rd, ending her political comeback bid. Meanwhile, in Washington's 3rd district, it's shaping up to be a competitive race. Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez and Republican John Braun each captured about 39% of the primary votes. And in Eastern Washington, Trump-backed Republican Amanda McKinney will face Democrat John Dureski this fall. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're hearing from the man credited with helping investigators find the arson suspect in Spokane. KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo reports.
Paul Child says he knew something was off when he saw a man acting suspiciously in the woods on Saturday.
He was bent over, looking towards, doing something in the grass and to the tree line area.
Child says he made eye contact with the man and then later saw smoke where the old trail's fire was just beginning.
And I said, that OSOB started the fire because it was in the exact same spot that he was standing. So we called 911.
His call is what led police to Aaron Farinacci. Investigators say the 37-year-old was arrested on Monday in possession of matches and a lighter. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Farinacci previously served time for killing his father in Arizona. The news is unsettling for many residents who lost everything. Chelsea Riley says her parents' home is now a pile of ashes.
It changes things. It kind of, you could make sense of it when it was an act of God somehow, but now that it's arson, someone did this to our family, and that's hard to wrap our brains around.
A judge set Farinacci's bail at $1 million. He's due back in court tomorrow. Amazon is donating $350,000 to vendors affected by the deadly gang-related shooting at the Bite of Seattle. The company tells the Seattle Times the money will help food and merchandise sellers recover losses after the festival ended in chaos when gunfire killed 3 people and injured 4 others. A 15-year-old faces assault and gun charges. Seattle's interim police chief says they're closing in on multiple others who may have been involved. Seattle's viral raccoon sensation is headed to T-Mobile Park. In a few hours, Mariners are hosting Jimothy Night as they take on the Detroit Tigers. Fans who purchase a special event ticket can score an exclusive Mariners and Jimothy t-shirt, and the first 20,000 fans through the gates will receive a Jimothy rookie card. And $2 from every theme ticket sold tonight will be benefiting the Ballard Food Bank. So, due to high demand, there's a second Jimothy night, and that'll be on Friday. And now to your KIRO News Radio forecast. It's lots of heat and haze today. Air quality remains still in effect. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hope you're having a great day today, and we're grateful that you're hanging out with us today. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. It is the day after primary election day, and as always, we are going to bring you what we know in terms of some of the results and whether there were any surprises. Also, was there a backlash over the millionaire's tax? We'll look into that. Another question we have is AI the new scapegoat for thousands of job cuts? And then coming up at 9:33, are kids truly better off when they grow up with siblings? There is some question. There's an article that says, no, they're not. And I say BS to that one. So text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Heading into the primary, Republicans warned that the millionaire's tax would hurt Democrats at the ballot box, but so far it hasn't. And if you look at Seattle Times columnist Danny Westneat's article today, he points out that Democratic lawmakers who back the new tax are actually leading across the state, including in several districts that Republicans specifically targeted. In Snohomish County, Representative April Berg, one of the architects of the tax, was ahead of her Republican challenger by 22 points. In Seattle, the bill's prime sponsor, Senator Jamie Peterson, was beating two challengers by more than 40 points. And Republicans also went after the Democratic incumbents in Kent and other suburbs. Those Democrats are leading as well. And near Vancouver, business groups spent about $450,000 protecting four Republican lawmakers, but Democratic challengers were ahead in all four races. Numbers are still coming in, but even in the congressional district where President Trump won in 2024, Marie Gluesenkamp Perez and other Democrats combined for 56% of the vote, compared with 42% for the Republican field.
Well, I want to just go right into the Jamie Peterson and how he is absolutely destroying his opponent. I think he has nearly 70% of the vote. And I just wanted to be and understand, because there's a lot of people that thought, because of everything surrounding the millionaire's tax, that it would probably go the other way. Just a reminder, about 20,000 households, maybe less than 1/4% of Washington households would pay this millionaire's tax. So I think what's happening is this. Outside of the fight on millionaire's tax and everything like that, the people that put money towards this and are fighting for this to be turned down, and of course we'll definitely see what happens in November, I think there are a lot of people that are understanding and asking the question, is there and are there major fights by these same people to lower the tax burden on working families out here, the ones that are making 40, 50, 60, 70,000? And I think that voting that happened just recently, Jamie Peterson being at 70% of the vote, is telling a story that maybe we didn't pay attention to.
Well, and one of the thing that was surprising about the Jamie Peterson vote, and he is one of the architects, he's the main architect of the millionaire's tax, but we had his main opponent on the show, and she is even much more progressive than he is. And she doesn't think the millionaire's tax goes far enough. I mean, that was the position that she was arguing in terms of. But I believe that this tax could still be repealed in November. And then there's also the legal challenge that it's facing. But I think what I'm seeing in the results so far, and they are early, I think the bigger problem is really the Republican brand in Washington, which is one of the things that Danny Westneat brought up. Because I do believe that President Trump and the current administration have driven many voters away, and the state Republican Party keeps doubling down on him. It's also pushing false claims about election fraud. It has spent enormous energy on culture war issues like trans athletes, anti-DEI campaigns, and meanwhile, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I think it's really true. It has failed to recruit enough candidates who can actually win. And that's why they ended up with Lauren Culp and Semi Bird instead of Dave Reichert. So even when Republicans may have a legitimate argument about taxes or spending, which, by the way, I think they do, I think most Washington voters are tuning them out before they even hear it for that reason. And I don't think it's necessarily proof that Washington voters love the millionaire's tax, but I think it's proof that they no longer trust the party that is arguing against it.
Yeah. I just wanted to just make sure, and I don't know this, I would like, if you're a Republican and you want to comment, help me better understand something. When we are talking about spending, and that's fair to talk about what's happening in Washington, do you just turn a blind eye to the spending at the federal level? Because if you're going to talk about, have you guys paid attention to the debt lately, the national debt? Remember, that used to be a big deal. Like, we talk about the debt, but then we won't talk about it anymore. So what happens that you turn a blind eye to that? And so if we're talking about what is happening in this state, to what your point is that you're having people that are confused. Because you say you want to be fiscally conservative, but the numbers show something else that's different. And so there's a hypocrisy that's happening, and it's not a consistent type of flow. So the same things and the same energy you have for the state of Washington, you turn a blind eye, or maybe you don't turn a blind eye, and that's what we're seeing in the results.
And I would love to hear, here's the thing, I just looked at the turnout so far, and it's early, not everything's been counted, but am I seeing this correct? That so far it's 27%.
That's what
turnout?
I saw. Okay, that's what I saw.
Like,
I saw 27% too. I'm just waiting to see more, but
yes,
that's what I saw.
Because again, it is very early, because normally we're looking at closer to 40%, and we had the Secretary of State on the show yesterday, and he said it was trending slightly lower than it was.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, so the 22 Washington primary. So you look at 4 years ago, that was about 40%. So if it doesn't get over 35%, I mean, that would be a big.
We talked about it yesterday, though.
Drop.
We talked about it yesterday. This voting in August is rough.
It is.
It's
okay,
rough.
Text us, though, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. What are you making of some of the results you're seeing so far? Another election result, the controversial former head of Seattle's police union is headed to the November election for Pierce County Council. Democrat Brenda Likens dominated the District 7 primary with nearly 57% of the vote, but Republican Mike Solon finished second with about 30%, and that knocked Chuck West out of the race. So if you don't remember, Solon was the union president on the other end of the infamous phone call in which Officer Daniel Auditor was heard laughing and said that Janavi Kandula had limited value after she was killed by a speeding Seattle police cruiser. It turns out Solon also nearly missed this ballot because he'd not been registered to vote in Pierce County for the required 1 year. But a judge ruled that requirement was excessive and restored him to the race. I also want to point out that he did get endorsed by Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank, so he will be moving on to November.
I know we have new listeners to the show, and Ursula just made the comment, and she alluded to who was on the other end of that phone call of Daniel Otter. Well, Mike Solon was at the other end of this.
Yeah, just write a check. Just, yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
So I'm not trying to tell people how to vote, but I just want to give you guys a reminder. Pierce County elected Keith Swank, another political figure who built their profile here in Seattle. They left Seattle, and you see what you get in Pierce County right now. Once again, Mike Sullivan built his profile in Seattle. Now he's going down to Pierce County. Like Ursula just said, he didn't register in Pierce County to vote until March. Wasn't even the rules stated that he can't and could not run for office because you had to be registered for a year. But then they made some kind of concession to allow him to be on the ballot. I just want to say, my question for voters, do you want someone who is rooted in the community of Pierce County in Gig Harbor? Or do you want this fly-by-night person who's been in Seattle the entire time? They just go pull up to Pierce County because they believe they see the Keith Swank recipe of you can just show up and potentially get elected. So my thing to Gig Harbor is this. You want a Keith Swank of Gig Harbor in that council? Go ahead and take Mike Sullivan in. There you go.
I do find it interesting, but the judge ruled that it was excessive, a requirement to have someone live a year where you are going to be running for a race is excessive.
A year.
That was a surprising ruling. So Mike Sullivan was successful in that lawsuit.
He just
registered.
It
sounds like, yeah, I know.
In March.
But it looks like the Brenda Likens is
smashed.
Basically, she's got quite a bit of the vote.
Should point out that Pierce County is only 40% registered Democrat, by the way.
Right,
so.
Exactly. So, I mean, if there is going to be a Republican who does well, it will be in Pierce County.
You think that plays into the decision to leave the Seattle area and go down to Pierce County?
Well, of course.
Oh.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the Spokane fires. Did you hear about this, Gee? The guy accused of starting Spokane's Old Trails fire was stopped twice on the day it began and then released. And this man, Paul Child, saw the suspect bent over near the railroad tracks close to where the fire started just as 911 calls started coming in.
My suspicions were up then at that point in time. As we were coming back, it came up the hill, and that individual was still in that same area. Only this time, he was bent over and looked like he was doing something in the grass in the tree area. Said, holy and where the smoke was rising was where that individual was standing, and I told myself, I said, that SOB started a fire.
Deputies did find 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci within minutes, handcuffed him. They found cigarettes, matches, and a butane lighter on him. And Child tells KIRO 7 TV he has no doubt that he was the person who ignited the fire.
And he faced us, and he asked us, was that him? And 100%. That's the individual we saw 5 to 10 minutes before this fire had started.
But according to the Seattle Times, Farinacci denied starting that fire, and investigators hadn't yet determined that it was actually arson, so they let him go that day. But then the next day, an investigator recognized him as a potential suspect in a 2025 fire nearby. And in that case, he was actually photographed wearing the exact same green shirt that he was wearing on Saturday, and it said, "Who needs luck? I have charm." He had also been questioned about another possible arson, and so he was arrested on Monday and is now being held on $1 million bail.
I don't really have too much to say about this person other than if they do and if he is found guilty of this, even though it's only one of the 3 fires that he's being tied to, not responsible necessarily for the Fairview or Autumn Lane fire. But Ursula, even if he is tied to one of the 3, life in prison. He should never see daylight ever again. What he has done to Spokane or helped do allegedly is like, this is forever. Generations. It will change the trajectory of families and everything.
Yes.
He should never see the light of day. Life in prison.
Agree. And mind you, he is someone who has already been convicted of killing his own father in Arizona in 2010 over an argument about dishes. And so in 2012, he had pled guilty to manslaughter and aggravated assault and got a 12-year sentence for that, and was released in 2020. Given his prior record, and if he is in fact convicted of this latest fire, and mind you, he's also a suspect in other previous arsons. I mean, that is just astounding.
Yeah.
And I will say again, I am thankful for people like this man who took the time to call it in and say, this is something very suspicious. And to think that he was stopped again that very day. And, he's just said, well, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I mean, thank God that there was a witness. And you're absolutely right, because it's just astounding that, first of all, he got such a short sentence for the original murder of his own dad.
Yeah, for killing his daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over dishes. And then now this. Wow. Okay, did you hear about Zillow cutting more than 500 jobs, about 7% of its workforce, even as the company is saying business is growing? Revenue was up 18% in the first quarter. Zillow says it is outperforming all expectations, but this is already its second round of layoffs this year. And while the company's not exactly directly blaming AI, the CEO says Zillow does need to become more efficient and reduce costs and put the right people in the right positions. But I mean, this language is becoming very, very familiar, Gee. We talk about it quite often in top stories. The company's spending years telling us that AI is going to make workers a lot more productive. Then profits go up, growth is strong, and then hundreds of workers lose their jobs.
10 plus, 20 plus, 30 years ago, remember, you ever hear in school the teacher or loved one, an adult, telling you, hey, learn computers. Learn computers. If you know computers, you will get ahead of the game. It will be a guarantee for opportunity. Learn to code, go to code camps, all of those things. Well, AI is making things different today. By the way, I think that whether it's Zillow or anyone else, I think sometimes AI is the scapegoat, to be truthfully. But I want to just take this time to talk to the youngsters, the young generation, you in your 20s or maybe early 30s. And I just want to just say that if you go to college, if you go to school for an education and you get that diploma, I want you to remember this. Your education should not stop after you get the diploma. Okay? That mindset is over. That whole I went to college and I got a degree and I'm going to rest on this degree. Don't nobody give a dang on what you did years ago to get that piece of paper. You better continue to stay curious, continue to be well educated, continue to learn to adapt.
Outwork everybody.
That's even another one. Be leery of these jobs that are only work from home. I don't want nobody to get mad at me, but I'll stay away from that. And just don't just assume that this only affects this types of jobs. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, man, keep that mindset of just wanting to adapt and learn. I don't care if you got an education. Get more. Get more education.
And when it comes to AI, be a master at AI.
Yeah, and use it. Use it the same way folks use internet back in the day. Yeah, I remember. You ever had that parent or loved one that says, I don't care what anybody says. My phone number is enough.
Yeah.
I don't need no website.
I'm still not using social media.
Still not getting no social media. Champ, I ain't getting on that Facebook. He loved Facebook at the end. All right. Hey, coming up next, here's a question. Are kids truly better off when they grow up with siblings? We'll talk about that next, Gee Ursula.
A wildfire disaster unfolding just east of us.
The Spokane fires
destroyed hundreds of homes and forced tens of thousands to evacuate.
Unprecedented stories of loss, devastation, and heartbreak.
It was a beautiful home. It really was.
And there was a lot of terror because it's loud, it's hot.
Join KIRO Newsradio in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I was walking my dog, I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth, with the Robert Cray Band. August 6th, the Tulalip Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at Tulalip and Quilceda 1 Club Desks or Ticketmaster.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Beat the rain and beat the mad rush. Valentine Roofing is now offering priority scheduling for your roof replacement. When you call Valentine Roofing today, they can get your job started within 3 weeks of signing the agreement. And they make the process so simple. You're going to receive an estimate with transparent pricing and options that fit your needs in about an hour. So call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
August is Karastan month at Carpet Liquidators. Purchase beautiful Karastan carpet and get free installation. From carpet to flooring, we've got you covered at Carpet Liquidators.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Moving into Aegis was one of the best decisions I ever made because I became connected with lots of friends.
This is my friend Susie, and we haven't known each other very long. We just kind of clicked.
She found this wonderful place, and so that I moved in. One thing we both like, we watch football games. I'm a tight end girl myself.
Aegis Living has been trusted for nearly 30 years to deliver award-winning care in luxury senior living. Visit aegisliving.com/KIRO and see for yourself.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. As wildfires continue to devastate areas in and around Spokane, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the state is ready to take on any insurance companies that deny damage claims.
Herb Weisbaum, contributing editor at checkbook.org, tells me for homes that survive the fires sweeping through Spokane, there could be problems hidden inside.
That house may have been filled with toxic smoke from all the burning houses around it, lead and mercury and cadmium.
Many homeowners in California are now suing insurance companies that denied smoke damage claims. Washington's Office of the Insurance Commissioner tells me they're keeping a close eye on claims here. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
According to the Office of the Insurance Commissioner, smoke damage is covered under insurance. An air quality alert remains in effect around much of western Washington as wildfire smoke continues to drift into our region. KIRO 7 TV's Tyra Majors reports.
The Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says conditions are expected to get worse, with some locations reaching unhealthy levels for sensitive groups as the smoke spreads. That means if you need to be outside, it may be time to grab an N95 mask or be ready to stay inside if conditions keep getting worse.
A man was stabbed in the chest while walking to a bus stop in Seattle's Georgetown neighborhood. Seattle police say the attack happened shortly before 2 o'clock this morning near 4th Avenue South. The 44-year-old was taken to Harborview with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the suspect, described as a white man in his 30s wearing an orange jacket and blue jeans, he ran from the scene. Anyone with information is urged to contact Seattle police. Free breakfast and lunch at every Seattle public school is just one step closer to reality. Yesterday, the City Council's Budget Committee unanimously approved $3.6 million to restore universal school meals for the upcoming school year. Here's Councilmember Dan Strauss.
Making sure that kids are fed is how they learn. Hungry kids don't learn well.
The money is being redirected from the Seattle Housing Authority's Northgate Commons redevelopment after the project's demolition and pre-development costs came in lower than expected. The full council is expected to take a final vote next week. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic right now. Brake lights from 180th down to South Center Hill remain there because the right 2 lanes are blocked on northbound 405. That's right at the Family Fun Center. Other drive times right now, Federal Way to Seattle is going to take you at least 55 minutes. And this traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heating, heat deflecting glass. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. For your forecast, air quality continues to be a concern today. Highs today will be in the mid-80s. Right now, it's about 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, we have it open for you. I think you're going to be weighing in on this next topic. 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. I'm just going to ask flat out, do you think kids are better off if they have a brother or a sister? Katrina Gashard is actually going to join us for this conversation. Gee, do you think they're better off?
I think kids are better off if they have parents that create a great environment and culture.
Love it. Okay. But about 40% of parents say that giving their first child a sibling was a big consideration when it came to whether they were going to have another child. And The Atlantic challenges this whole notion of a sibling is a gift, because Amanda Rugger points out in this article that decades of research shows only children are just as happy in general and as socially adjusted and mentally healthy as kids who have siblings. And while a bunch of different research shows that most siblings will say their relationships are positive, she points out that there is also research that says sibling aggression and abuse is what she calls an invisible and widespread public health problem. And so she points out that the kids who grow up with siblings have to face more aggression, name calling, a mean brother or sister, or they have worse mental health scores than the general population. And even when a sibling is not a negative influence, she says there's no guarantee that kids who grow up together are actually going to be friends or even like each other. And the documented benefits of siblings comes from research on children who have good relationships. And this is not even mentioning the cost of having more than one child. So your thoughts, Gee?
First, I just want to give a big shout out to anyone who has a sibling where that's your best friend or somebody like as a sister or brother. You guys help each other out. You guys have a great relationships. I think that is beautiful when that happens. And I think all parents, if you're a parent and you have helped create that culture, kudos to you for creating that culture, and you're doing great. But let's not just automatically believe and think that having a second or third child makes the relationship, makes things automatic. Sometimes you have sibling rivalries. I'll speak for myself. I have that, and specifically why I have that, because it was thought that, when I was younger, I was I did well as a kid, right? I was doing well. And then I fell off in my 20s. And then the old was like, oh, look at the black sheep of the family. Look at him, right? And so now the tides have turned, and now there's real envy and animosity from my sibling. So I want to just say again, I think the most important thing isn't the sibling. It is the parents. The parents. If you create that culture like Mike McDonald is doing over with the Seahawks, kudos on you. That's what makes the sibling relationships great.
I totally agree with you. Katrina.
Oh, I totally agree. It does start with the parents. And I'm one of 4, and I also have 3 young kids, 4, 2, and 7 months right now. I can say that when you are introducing another sibling, I didn't present it to my firstborn as, oh, your sister's coming, it's a gift. My thought process was, okay, we've got a new member coming in and you're going to love on her. She's going to change things. We're going to learn together how to take care of her. And we're in this together because it's my first time being a mom to you. It's also my first time being a mom to her too.
Yeah.
So I think having that candor, even with young kids, just sets a nice precedent that, you know what, we're in this together. It's going to be okay. And yes, are they going to fight? Absolutely. Siblings fight. I adore my brothers, but I mean, I don't want 3 extra dads, but that's what I feel like I have sometimes. But it's still a close relationship. So there will be tension and there will be strife. I'm saying let's not fight it, lean into it, because it's just the dynamics of growing up with someone else by your side.
I love that. And I love how you presented it to your son, because I remember when Stephen turned 4 and we were going to introduce him to his brother. I mean, we did the whole shebang. Oh, look at the gift that your brother got you, did that whole thing. And because he had been our world and he had all our undivided attention for 4 years. And then sibling comes along. I do look at it and I did think of it. And I think they, because of the environment they grew in, could not imagine a world where they were an only child. My husband's an only child, and there are times I have felt for him. And he said there were times it was very, very lonely for him growing up, especially when you're dealing with the challenges of parents who may have struggles of their own, and you don't really have that person to talk to in the family or to lean into. I was one of 5. And so and did we have fights? Oh my God, did we have fights?
It's part of it, right?
Yes. But I would argue that made me a much more resilient person.
Agreed.
Agreed.
My
I had to learn how to share.
In.
I had to learn how to, fight for what I wanted. I mean, literally fight for what I wanted in a big family.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting about this article is not the fact that there are, downsides and upsides to either having sibling or not. It's that the narrative that we have as a society isn't correct, right? As a parent, if your children are not tight, you're assuming, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's their relationship is broken. How have we messed this up? We don't account for the damage that siblings can cause, like lifelong damage, and shaping how a child thinks of themselves in relation to the world. And also, like, it is undeniably more difficult to parent 2 children or 3 children than it is just one, not just in financial terms. And that has a very realistic determination on how kids are raised. And when we pressure parents, like, when are you going to have the other one? They're going to be so lonely. There's an actual cost.
Liz in Gig Harbor, speaking of lonely, she says, I can tell you from my own experience that being an only child is very lonely. I had siblings, but at the age of 11, my parents divorced, and I ended up going with my mother. Stacy in the 206 says, I have 4 kids, and as much as they bickered as kids, when push comes to shove, they all have each other's back. Now they're 30, 27, 25, 23, and they have sibling night once a month at least. I used to tell them it's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging, but you're all going to grow up having each other. I love that.
Yeah. I think that, and it's not as easy. I've seen a few text messages come in, and some folks are saying that they grew up as an only child, and if you have a sibling, you should get along with your sibling. Look, I would love for it to be that easy, right? In a perfect world, we'd all live behind a white picket fence, right? We'd all be able to pay our bills on time. We'd all be able to have extra money for vacation, and we'd get along with everybody in our family. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Blood makes you related, but not family.
But Gee, like you were saying, I think it's really on the parent, because what you have to realize is I'm not the same parent I was to my first, nor am I my second, nor am I my third. My kids have different needs. So I'm going to change how I respond to them and how I just apply what I know and how best to love them based on how they're changing. So it's an evolving thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hear you loud and clear that you have seen personally the effects of when the parents don't create an environment where the siblings end up having each other's backs.
No doubt.
And maybe it ends up being the opposite. And that's very painful.
Yeah. But I've also seen, and that's why I didn't come into this topic with a sweeping statement either way, because I've seen both sides of it. I've seen situations where it is a beautiful thing, seeing how siblings are there for each other. Hey, that is bonus. So if you got that, call your sibling up and tell him, thank you. Thanks, Katrina. Appreciate you. Hey, coming up next. All right. My wife just texted me a second ago, and she just drove to work, and she's talking about the air quality right now. Man. So the question is this. Should they be canceling things? Because 3 Snohomish County cities cancel National Night Out because of smoke. Are we too sensitive? Let's discuss next. Gee Ursula.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Hey, I know something you probably haven't done in a while. Climb into your crawl space or your attic. Yeah, me neither. Mike Salk here. And most homeowners avoid those areas for good reason. But it's important to check on them regularly, especially here in the Northwest, where groundwater can wreak havoc and many homes lack the proper insulation in these spaces. So when it's hot in the summer, your house gets even hotter. And guess what? When it's cold in the winter, your house gets even colder because you don't have enough insulation. The good news, you don't have to crawl into those dingy areas, because Crawl Pros will do it. They go where you don't want to. That's what they did at my house. They found a little rodent intrusion, and they found the insulation problem. So yeah, they can help you get it all fixed, just like they did with me. And if you need any work done, local utility companies offer rebates that could save you thousands on your project. Don't just assume that your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Shama Sawant, how did she do yesterday? Will we be hearing from her, or will we be done hearing from Shama Sawant? We're going to be discussing that at 11 o'clock. We'll let you know how those results will continue to go.
Yeah. But can I just say one thing about that? I'm just proud of how people voted on that particular race. Proud of you.
All right. Wildfire smoke didn't just make the air miserable yesterday. It also wiped out National Night Out in 3 Snohomish County cities, Marysville, Mill Creek, and Lake Stevens. all canceled their Tuesday evening events because of air quality had climbed into unhealthy territory. National Night Out is supposed to bring neighbors together with police officers and first responders, but city leaders said too many of the people who attend, especially children, seniors, and people with heart or lung conditions, would have been put at risk. Marysville and Mill Creek pulled the plug after air quality climbed above 100 on the air quality index, reaching the unhealthy for sensitive groups category. Lake Stevens was even worse with the AQI topping 150, considered unhealthy for everyone. And this is the broader impact of wildfire smoke. It is no longer just ruining the view or making your eyes burn. It is now canceling community events and changing how people across the region live their day-to-day lives. So if you're listening right now, what's your thoughts on this? Yes, they should cancel events today that are outside. No, we're too sensitive. Keep the party going. Ursula?
I think that unless it's something that is super critical and you think people would still turn out, I would suggest finding a way to hold it indoors or canceling it. I think that is the responsible thing to do. Now, I am not a wildfire smoke expert, but I did look into, like, what are some of the effects? First of all, do you feel good when you're outside there? Like, I wanted to go to the pool yesterday because it was really, this is a complete first world problem, but I wanted to hang out at the pool because it was supposed to be one of our warm days.
Yeah.
Ew.
If we're going to be honest, okay, I got in my car yesterday, went home, ran some errands. It wasn't until my wife got home, because she says in her car, it actually shows you on the screen what the AQI is. I kind of forgot about it, and I'm not paying attention. And this morning, I'm still not paying attention. But again, that's me. And while I am saying that, while I'm not paying attention, I also understand and agree that big organizations or cities should cancel these events. Well, but I didn't notice.
And okay, so I'm going to tell you that when I go out, if I stay in it long enough, because I have a tendency, I don't have asthma, but I have a tendency to get a dry cough if I get this kind of irritation. Mm-hmm. And it is bothersome. But for some people, it's beyond just having stinging eyes or itching skin. I mean, for some people, it is truly exacerbating existing conditions. For example, if you have heart disease, or if you have respiratory damage, or if you're pregnant, or if you have some other kind of issues that would just be made worse by wildfire smoke. And I get it. It seems like, okay, we're being pansies and now we're canceling. But for some people, it's a very real issue. The National Night Out thing, though, do you ever do that in your neighborhood? Because
no,
we do, and we have. We didn't do it this year, but I see why they cancel. And Melinda in Bellevue said she's on the board for the Bellevue Police Foundation, and they canceled National Night Out last night till next year. And I see why they're doing it, because no one wants to have them in their homes. The whole point of National Night Out is you're outside on the street.
Okay. But I mean, look, I'm not going to say like, oh gosh, this is the wussification of society. But I will say that during COVID, we got entirely too comfortable with the phrase out of an abundance of caution, right? An AQI of 100 is like unhealthy for some groups. We don't cancel entire things because some people may be impacted. Like, we have high pollen days. Intense sunlight and heat is unhealthy for everyone, especially if you're not wearing sunscreen. And we don't like shut down society and decide not to do things because it's going to impact some people. That was different during the pandemic because we're talking about a transmissible disease. But I just worry that as a society, we've gotten far too used to the idea of canceling things because, frankly, it's just easier. You know, like, it could impact some people, so we want to be safe for everyone, so we're just going to not do it.
Hey, if you're a family and you still want to go outside, go outside.
Exactly.
Go outside. If you are a big organization, if you're a city, thank you. Set the example, right? Set the example by telling everyone to take air quality serious, because the experts the health experts are saying, hey, that's a big deal. If your young child has asthma and the asthma was getting better on that young child, it might make things worse. If you're an older person, you might have lung issues, or you never had lung issues. It could cause that. I'm not an expert. I don't really notice it, but I'm just going to go with what they say.
D in Fall City says, I'm headed to Seahawks training camp in this smoke, and they're practicing. Should they cancel? Probably should, according to D.
Should we cancel the 4th of July? Every 4th of July is an unhealthy air quality index event where fireworks are set off. Just bringing up the question. I respect the difference.
Yes.
Hey, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's endorsement. How did they do in the election? We'll discuss that. And also, have you ever decided to vote for someone because you saw someone else endorse them? We'll talk about that. Also, how many Republicans live in the blue city of Seattle? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Next, Gee Ursula.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Summer calls for road travel across our region. Have you noticed more vehicles on our highways and local roads? Obviously, traffic in the city is going to be crowded, especially with the Ship Canal Bridge construction. But there have been a ton more people heading north on I-5 and east on I-90 for weekends and holidays than again on Sundays coming home. More people on the roads means more accidents. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on the shoulder exchanging information. If you're one of the unlucky ones or know a friend or family member, reverse your fortune by having Harold Carr Law Offices deal with insurance. While you're resting, receiving physical therapy, and taking time off work, Harold Carr Law Offices will negotiate with insurance on your behalf while compiling necessary paperwork and getting you the best recovery possible. 7 locations across Western Washington and a track record of success for their clients. Carr is spelled with 2 R's. C-A-R-R. CarLaw.com. C-A-R-R. Car accident? Call Carr.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Senate still needs to take up a full confirmation vote on Todd Blanche's Attorney General nomination. He cleared the Senate committee hurdle yesterday. Blanche asked by reporters about U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro's decision for the Justice Department to drop vandalism charges against Olympian David Hearn, something President Trump questioned and signaled Pirro's position could be in jeopardy. Blanche says Pirro is doing a great job in D.C.
Again, I don't want the message to be because President Trump expressed appropriate frustration at the damage done to the reflecting pool, that Judge Pirro is not, and not only Judge Pirro, her prosecutors are not working every day to combat violent crime and to make this city safe. So.
ABC News projects progressive Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed will win the Democratic Senate race in Michigan against moderate Representative Haley Stevens. The winner taking on GOP Representative Mike Rogers in November's general election. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. This is ABC News. Another foodborne illness has forced changes to the menu at a major fast food chain.
First, it was cyclosporiasis linked to lettuce at Taco Bell. Now, Chipotle Mexican Grill has removed jalapenos from its restaurants nationwide after a salmonella outbreak in Minnesota sickened more than 100 people. Investigations are going on in other states where the peppers might have been distributed.
ABC's Jim Ryan. New Jersey officials say with their latest lawsuit, they're taking a stand for drivers behind two-day Amazon deliveries, accusing the online retailer of keeping wages low and conditions poor.
Those drivers show up in Amazon vans wearing Amazon vests, carrying boxes with the Amazon logo. But most of them don't actually work for Amazon. They work for small contractors, which the company calls delivery service partners. But the lawsuit claims those partners are entirely dependent on Amazon to survive and claims the company uses that power to control their routes.
ABC's Morgan Norwood. I'm Michelle Franzen. ABC News.
An incumbent cruises and a political comeback ends. We'll have a look at last night's Washington primary for you in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. About a 5-minute delay right now from Alderwood to South Center on both I-5 and 405. It'll take you about an hour or so. Everett to Seattle, 5 minutes behind schedule right now, 49-minute drive. Linwood to Seattle, also about a 5-minute delay, a 42-minute drive. And if you're heading from Federal Way to Seattle, not too bad right now. It'll take you about 30 minutes. Normally, it's about 38. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Frank Lindsay. Two closely watched congressional races are now set for November. In the 9th District, incumbent Democrat Adam Smith easily led the primary with 51% of the vote. He'll face Republican Doug Bassler, who finished with 29%. Independent Shama Sawant, the former Seattle City Council member, placed a distant third, ending her political comeback bid. In Washington's 3rd District, Democrat incumbent Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez and Republican John Braun will face off in November, each getting 39% of the vote in the primary last night. And two progressive candidates backed by Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson flopped.
Ron Davis, the Wilson-backed progressive Democrat up against longtime incumbent Jerry Pollitt for a seat in the state house, will finish in a distant 3rd place in his primary, which means his race is over. Hannah Sabio-Howell, who's taking on incumbent state senator Jamie Peterson, the author of the Millionaire's Tax, finished 2nd, but with only 18% of the vote compared to Peterson's 70%. Mayor Wilson bucked the political system a month ago by not endorsing the incumbents. Instead, Peterson has the endorsement of Governor Bob Ferguson, Attorney General Nick Brown, and Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Gee and Ursula will have more on that in just a few minutes. And as always, you can get full results from the primary at mynorthwest.com. Financial boost for businesses affected by the Bite of Seattle shooting. The Seattle Times reporting Amazon created a $350,000 relief fund for vendors affected by the violence at Seattle Center on July 26th. 3 people killed, 4 others hurt. Seattle's interim police chief says they are closing in on multiple suspects. The airspace over the Spokane complex fires off limits to drone. The State Patrol says 26 were detected Sunday, 13 more on Monday, and at least once firefighting aircraft had to stop what they were doing because of a drone. Air quality alert, meanwhile, in effect across much of western Washington as wildfire smoke continues to drift in.
The Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says conditions are expected to get worse, with some locations reaching unhealthy levels for sensitive groups as the smoke spreads. That means if you need to be outside, it may be time to grab an N95 mask or be ready to stay inside if conditions keep getting worse.
KIRO 7's Tyra Majors. Well, it turns out one of the best things at T-Mobile Park is not on the menu, it's the air. A new survey by sports platform The Lines found Seattle's ballpark ranked 4th in Major League Baseball for summer air quality. Even so, about a third of Mariners fans admit they never check air quality before a game, and more than a quarter have skipped a summer matchup because of the heat or smoky conditions. Luckily, July's air around the park stayed remarkably clean. On your weather forecast, again, we do have that smoke to deal with. It is going to be mostly sunny, smoky, and 85 today. Hazy, hot weather tomorrow, 86 degrees, 85 on Friday. We cool down just a touch on Saturday, 82, a few clouds early on, but otherwise going to stay sunny. 68 degrees right now in Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay. KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Grateful that you're hanging out with the show. You know what, Ursula, you know what tickled that I was just sitting here just tickling about? There's a lot of people that text in, actually agreeing with Chef today about
wussification
the
of society.
wussification of society.
I said I wasn't making that argument.
No, but they're claiming. But I had to pause for a second. Whenever I hear that, like this whole the wussification of I just want to look at some people and just be like so when I hear that from someone, I'm be like, and you're probably the softest one. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people hide behind that whole thing. Like, oh yeah, Mr. Tough Guy or person. I just don't like that saying. You know what I mean? Like, because we all have our times where we're not doing well in a certain area. So if we aren't, so people will try to, that type of situation.
Yeah. 206 texted in and said, I am 100% with Chef on the wussification of our society. I went jogging yesterday for 2 hours and didn't experience any issues. People who need to take precautions because of bad air quality should take precautions, but no need to cancel these events for the rest of us. And you know what? I heard from, was it Jamie over who said, we had a great turnout. If you still could hold it and you had people who still wanted to show up, great. Fantastic.
Great.
But I also understand, hey, if some people decide, we've got a lot of old people who have health issues that would be impacted by this fire and we don't want to be responsible for putting them out there.
Yeah.
I also understand that. Great.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on my text line, and if anybody's still living with it, you know what I'm saying? Get on my text line. Hey! All right, what you got, Ursula? I had to give myself to have fun.
Well, speaking of the text line, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. And let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
You heard Frank mention that Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson took her first big swing in state politics and endorsed some folks, and at least on election night, she whiffed on both the races that she put her weight behind. Wilson endorsed two progressive challengers taking on incumbent Democrats in the legislature, and neither of them came anywhere close to pulling off the upset. In Seattle's 43rd legislative district, Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, who was the architect behind the millionaire tax, dominated his race with about 71% of the vote. And his Mayor Wilson-backed challenger, Hannah Sabio Howell, was a distant second with just under 18%. Now, someone was pointing out that, he represents Capitol Hill. It is very progressive. Hannah is even more progressive than Jamie Peterson, and she's not doing well. She was on our show, G. really great person. Enjoyed
very nice
talking with
person.
her. But, she would even be more on the to the left of Jamie Peterson.
Right.
And Jamie was actually saying that he was worried about his particular race. Obviously, both moving on to November.
Yeah.
But he was concerned, and so far it looks like Mayor Wilson, her endorsement, that didn't do much, because also in the 46th district in Northeast Seattle, Mayor Wilson endorsed Ron Davis. Now, he's running a distant third. He is trailing both the incumbent, Representative Jerry Paulette, and former federal prosecutor Will Dreher.
Right.
So, what are you making of this? Are you surprised?
In fairness to Katie Wilson, I don't think her endorsement or lack of endorsement would have mattered either way. Both candidates would. I mean, this one candidate, Davis, is in third place. I don't think it would have mattered. But it's a story that I would like to bring up, and I thought about this. First, Ursula, strong candidates, they're going to win because they connect with the voters. And it's not going to be because of endorsements. Now, sometimes an endorsement can toss it over. And I asked a question, and I asked, has an endorsement for someone ever made you fill out that circle in that bubble, like because they said so, you endorsed them? And go ahead.
I'm going to say yes. Working both ways. Either it has helped me decide to vote for someone, or it has helped me decide not to vote for somebody.
My man David in Redmond, Ursula, I'm going to tell you, endorsements on someone that's for, that doesn't change my mind. But boy, David in Redmond, yes. An endorsement for someone, you rocking with them? I'm out. So, thank you, David in Redmond. I did not realize that. Way too much. Like,
absolutely.
I'm upset.
Great point.
I'm upset at how much that influences me. Like, you like them?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like, for example, like, I don't get mad when people that are racist or homophobic don't like G. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, I actually sleep well at night. Like, you don't like me? Great. I'm doing a great job. But then you have this other candidate endorsement from this person. You like them? I'm voting the other way.
Well, exactly. Exactly. So I say it can go either way.
Yes.
Either if I really respect you, I'm going to go with it.
Right.
If I don't respect you, heck no. And so I'm still on this. I'm still on the thought that Katie Wilson is going to go down as the worst mayor in Seattle history. And if she endorses somebody, I think it's a negative. I'm sorry. Look at that like, no. I don't want more of that. Just like Shama Sawant. If Shama Sawant is endorsing somebody, I'm going to look at it and go, no. That's...
Okay. I gotta say this. I don't think Shama Sawant and or Katie Wilson, even though they're not enough. It's not enough. Their endorsement for this candidate wouldn't be enough for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's enough for me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's enough for me.
Because, well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. I mean, and I know you've said repeatedly that Katie Wilson, I think, is a great person. She has not made me, she's not a hateful person.
Yeah.
She is not a racist person. I don't think she's a bigoted person. Do I think she's up for the job? No.
No.
So far, I have not seen that.
I mean, it's not like, we said this before she was mayor. I mean, like everything that we're saying now.
Yes, this exactly what's happening is what we feared going in. Yes.
Yeah. By
but
the way,
speaking of
I was
Sawant,
a nice person too. Every time I go try to rent an apartment and my credit was bad, they'd be like, "Hey, G, you're a nice person, but you don't qualify.
Show me the money.
You don't qualify. Hey, here, take this no. It's gonna be a no. You're a nice person, but you don't qualify." Go ahead, Ursula.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to bring up Shama Sawant. This is where I said I'm extremely proud of people and the way they voted.
Yeah.
Because she tried to make a political comeback. She was trying to run against Adam Smith. And I chuckle because Adam Smith is crushing basically everyone in the race. But the former Seattle City Council member, Shama Sawant, finished a distant third in the 9th Congressional District primary with only 13% of the vote. Adam Smith right now has 51%. And then Doug Bassler is the Republican in there, and Shama Sawant is also trailing him. And of course, she doesn't take any sort of ownership. She blames union leaders for backing Adam Smith, and also accused fellow Democrat Melissa Chaudhry of splitting the left-wing voters. And she tells her supporters, shame on Melissa, and she was booed.
I gotta look. I'm gonna say this, and because this is important, and I've said this to you off the air, Ursula. Sometimes when I am saying and talking about some of these elected or potential those running for office, sometimes, like a Katie Wilson, who I do think is a nice person, sometimes it hurts me to say negative things. That's just me, right? When it comes to Shama Sawant, I don't like Shama Sawant. I don't think Shama Sawant is a good person. Go back to her awful comments right 2 hours after Paul Allen passed away. That angered me so much. And so whenever I see Shama Sawant, and maybe you all have your candidates too, I'm sorry, I'm human. The fact that she's in third place, and the thing that I said to myself, I said, self, is this it?
Yeah, they got it right.
Is this it?
The voters got it right.
Is this it? Are we done now? Are we done?
According to her, probably not.
Or is she gonna be like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees from Halloween and Friday the 13th?
Keep coming up.
Every time it's another damn movie coming out. God dog it. It came out again. I thought Jason was done.
She almost walked right out the studio.
I thought Michael Myers was done. And every single time, you know there's going to be another one, right?
A sequel.
Dang it. I thought she was done.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like at least for this, she's not going to make it to November. Okay, let's talk about other races that were very important, because we were talking about incumbents, and the incumbents on the Washington Supreme Court had a very good night. And again, numbers are early, but all three justices on the ballot leading their races. They're on track to advance to November. And I mentioned that there is another race that automatically goes to November with a justice seat. But Chief Justice Deborah Stevens is leading comfortably. Justices Theo Angelis and Colleen Melody, both appointed by Governor Bob Ferguson earlier this year. They're also ahead of their challengers in their first statewide elections. And this is an unusual year because there are 5 of the court's 9 seats up for election instead of the typical 3. So, talk about incumbents. When it comes to incumbents, is that something that you tend to do if you don't know better, or do you automatically think, look, I'm just going to go with the incumbent?
Look, I'm human too. When I say I'm human, we all know that incumbents usually have the name. They've been talked about. They've been in Ursula's top stories. They've been made fun of. They've been raved about. Like that name recognition. So it's all like, look, here's what I've learned, Ursula. We talk. And then all of a sudden you pull out that ballot and you pull it out of the envelope. And it's now time to vote. And you got little Charlie in the background saying, Mom, Dad, can we go? And then you find yourself like, oh, let me just go ahead. And sometimes so incumbents have the upper hand a little bit.
Well, especially if you're generally happy with what's going on. Mm-hmm. And the Supreme Court justice, even though that is such an important, those are very important races. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I mean, important races.
And if you think that it's currently way too liberal of a court, this is where I was expecting more of the challengers to do better. Mm-hmm. But, again, we'll see what happens in November, but it looks like they're doing well. I need to bring up a story that has nothing to do with the politics and the election, but something that happened in the U District that is really disturbing. Did you hear about this story, Gee? A young woman came to Seattle to celebrate her 21st birthday, and she ended the night unconscious on a sidewalk, bleeding from her brain. This story came from the Seattle Times. Sherry Norris and her sister were sitting on a curb in the University District when police say they argued with a driver who wanted the space. And their family says this guy got out, threw one sister to the ground, and struck Sherry in the head. And her mother, Tina Burley Norris, spoke with KIRO 7 TV. She says she rushed outside and found her daughter unresponsive.
I was there to make sure nothing happened, and I failed.
So Sherry ended up spending 2 days at Harborview. She still cannot remember that attack or the 2 hours before it. But this assault happened just after midnight on June 23rd. This was near University Way and Northeast 45th, right there on the Ave. Police say they found no usable surveillance video. They don't have any clear description of the suspect, no arrest. So basically, the case is at a dead end. And again, this is over a parking space on this gal's 21st birthday.
Yeah. First of all, this is just heartbreaking to hear this. It's heartbreaking anytime assault is used, whether it's over a parking space or anything else, because there's some people that just have a real short fuse or just don't have any type of care for other human life. But I also, on the show, we've talked about this before, and I want to talk about it again. And I just want to really give a reminder and understand that when people are behind the wheel of a vehicle and you don't know that person, you have no idea what that person, what they've gone through or what they can do or potentially
what they're willing to do.
All I'm saying is I want to continue to just really repeat, hey, if somebody wants to go ahead of you, somebody flips you off, if somebody cusses at you, my father used to tell me when it comes to getting pulled over, do you want to be right or do you want to go home? And that's just the PSA I have for that. But again, my prayers go out to this family. That is ridiculous. Nobody should be hit like that for anything. For anything, that shouldn't happen.
Well, and I'm just reading this. So the two girls were sitting on the curb, and they got into this argument with a driver who wanted that particular space.
Right.
And I can only imagine that mom who's there celebrating the daughter's 21st birthday has got to feel so horrible. That even more horrible because this happened at that time. She couldn't do anything. She was supposed to be there, like she said, to keep them safe. And you just don't know when you encounter someone over something so stupid.
Right.
And what they're willing to do.
No, exactly. And by the way, we always talk about, Ursula, the majority of people are good people. The majority of people don't do something heinous like this. But unfortunately, there are a very small few of these folks that are out there that are willing to do something like this over a parking spot.
Well, the other thing that also struck me is with as many cameras as we do have, police cannot find any usable surveillance video. So there's basically no clear description of the suspect, no one arrested, and someone who is, hospitalized who was beaten severely.
Yeah.
I mean, this person may get away with it.
Yeah, that's just bad, really awful. Hope she ends up being okay, because head injuries are no joke.
Yes,
right.
seriously.
Like these are things that can just stay with you forever. It's not just an assault and how long you stay in the hospital. Head injuries can stay with you potentially forever.
And someone was asking. I read it was a no parking space. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, makes it even worse. All right, Ursula, you probably don't have time to get into anything else. Okay, I got a good one, or we have a good one, I should say. Simple question. Do celebrities have any right to privacy? All right, let's have this discussion next. Gee and Ursula.
Dear Ursula. I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Reutin from the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the Gee and Ursula YouTube channel.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
My name is Anne. I live in the Bay Area, and I'm 68 years old. I helped my mom navigate Medicare. That was a nightmare I hope never, ever to have to go through again. It was awful for her. It was awful for me, and I just knew I never wanted to go through that. I knew that there were choices and that there were balances to be made and that it could be totally impenetrable. Chapter basically does the work for you. When you're turning 65, when you're looking at going on Medicare, they will look at all the options for you, give you advice as to what's best. One plan might be better for this, one plan might be better for that. I didn't have to do that calculation. They do the research and you don't have to pay for it. We gave a person the information, a person got back to us. You don't have to make yourself crazy.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today.
There's a moment in your late 30s or 40s where you wake up and think, I don't feel like me anymore. Hey, it's Manda Factor. Dr. Lucy Hostetter at Juvacor Health and Wellness Center knows that feeling because it happened to her. She is a board-certified physician who was told, this is you now, live with it, and found that unacceptable.
I ended up getting educated. I ended up being my own first patient, and I know how good it feels to know I still existed in there. And so to see that happen for men and women, and to see it happen for marriages, couples who have been at odds with one another because neither of them feel like themselves, to see that improvement happen for people, it's why I became a doctor.
For 7 years now, she's been helping men and women with safe, bioidentical hormone therapy tailored to your body, your labs, at your pace. No pressure, just a conversation to start. Call Juvacor Health and Wellness Center in Tacoma or Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center in Bellevue, or go to juvacorhealth.com and feel like yourself again.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Ichiro is back, and he's trading base hits for long balls. 50 season celebration weekend kicks off with the all-new Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. On Friday, August 7th, after the team takes on the Rays, see Ichiro step up to the plate against other former Mariner sluggers. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Hi, I'm Terry from Sky Nursery, and our summer event season is here. We have something exciting planned for you every weekend all summer long. See thousands of beautiful flowers at the 50th Anniversary Dahlia Show. Enjoy a 2-day Ikebana exhibition on Japanese floral arranging. Join workshops on mosaics, bonsai, and even carnivorous plant terrariums. As a family-owned garden center, Sky Nursery loves partnering with local artists and makers to celebrate a vibrant, creative community. See our summer schedule at skynursery.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A potential security threat to President Trump. Los Angeles authorities saying they arrested an armed man at the Trump National Golf Course in advance of his visit. That man identified as 38-year-old John Taylor. ABC's Kena Whitworth is on the scene at that golf course south of L.A.
Authorities say they found hollow point bullets in his pockets and a loaded pistol in his vehicle parked at the course, along with a badge that read Fugitive Recovery Bail Enforcement Agent. In a search of the suspect's home, authorities say they found an illegally modified AR-style rifle, body armor, radio signal devices, and multiple notebooks containing what officials described as concerning statements.
Here in Washington, 2 closely watched congressional races are now set for November. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey reports political analysts are keeping a close eye.
In the state's 9th district, incumbent Democrat Adam Smith easily led his primary with 51% of the vote. He'll face Republican Doug Bassler this fall, who finished with 29%. Independent Shama Sawant placed a distant third, ending her political comeback bid. Meanwhile, in Washington's 3rd district, it's shaping up to be a competitive race. Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez and Republican John Braun each captured about 39% of the primary votes. And in eastern Washington, Trump-backed Republican Amanda McKinney will face Democrat John Dureski this fall. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Washington State Ferries is officially building its first new ferry in more than a decade. Governor Bob Ferguson announced construction has begun on a new hybrid electric vessel at Eastern Shipbuilding Group in Florida. The state will have a total of 3 new hybrid electric ferries built as part of the project. The first vessel is expected to arrive sometime in 2030. A plan to bring back free school meals for every Seattle public school student cleared a key committee vote yesterday. The budget panel unanimously approved redirecting of $3.6 million from Northgate Commons housing redevelopment, which came in under budget to pay for a universal breakfast and lunch for this fall. Council President Joy Hollingsworth.
For someone to be able to have dignity, to be able to choose food during breaks and weekends is something that we all, I think, often take for granted.
The full council is set to vote on August 11th. Now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, it's looking at least a 10-minute delay from Alderwood to South Center on both I-5 and 405, so that'll take you about an hour. Everett to Seattle, it's about 50 minutes right now, and Linwood to Seattle, there's a slight delay. It's about 45 minutes right now. That's down from at least 35 minutes at this hour. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial 97.3 HD2. For your forecast, hot weather and hazy conditions continue today. Air quality alert remains in effect through tomorrow. Right now, it's about 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome
back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476. And some of you are texting in and saying, after our last discussion about that horrible incident in Seattle's University District, that the girls should not have been sitting on the curb saving a parking spot. And that potentially aggravated the situation. And yes, that practice of trying to reserve a spot is, I would say, a dangerous move because things can escalate very quickly. I will also say that even with that, it does not deserve what ended up happening in that particular case. But as you've said, Gee, you never know how someone is going to respond to something as simple as a parking space.
Right.
So you want to be very careful.
Right.
But right now I want to talk about how much privacy or how much a celebrity is basically, is it fair to criticize a celebrity about their body? And in the case of what I'm talking about right now, it's Ariana Grande, because that is the question is being raised by the Washington Post. And if you have seen her recently, you will have noticed that she is incredibly thin. And people have been talking about this now for many months. But the singer announced that she is going to be stepping back from public life because of what her representatives are calling the endless, ongoing public scrutiny about her health. Right. And following the release of her latest music video, there were tons of people who were talking about how she is so much more thin and gaunt, even more so than in her previous movies. I mean, she's been getting thinner and thinner, and people are suggesting that she has an eating disorder. Now, her folks have not disclosed any sort of medical condition, but national writers are now also wrestling with the very same question. The Washington Post argues that, hey, she is a celebrity. She is one of the world's biggest pop stars. She's got millions of young fans who may see her as something that they want to copy and something they want to emulate. But the New York Times says the debate has become this tug of war between people being really concerned and also respecting the privacy that she has repeatedly asked for. What do you think?
I think that if the public, if you have used or if the public attention that you have gotten, if it has helped you make money, then public curiosity is okay. I just want to go and just say this. I'm not a Ariana Grande. I'm just here. There have been times that I don't like some of the things that's necessarily said about me. Well, this is in the past. Now I don't give a damn. And about my kids, or a radio host in the past has gone on and said awful stuff before about my kids, or let me stop.
Well, you just had a People magazine article written about you and your decision on your son's wedding. Yeah. I mean, that was a whole article, two articles.
And then, hey, one dude, hey, he got a lot of followers on his Substack because of it. Okay, with all that being said, because public attention has helped build a career, then the public curiosity is okay. So it may not be fair, but that's just the game. When you sign up for that, so unless you are someone that says, hey, I don't want any of this public attention. I don't want to get paid off of any of it at all. I don't want it to be the reason why it helps my career. Unless you do that early on in the very beginning, then usually there's a good chance that public curiosity won't build over you. But the longer you're in the public eye, the more people will be curious, and the more writers or reporters and everything, they're going to talk about you.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I agree. Now, I think that there's a point where it gets to be too much, like what she's doing behind closed doors or what she's doing in the privacy of her home is one thing. But when she is doing tours, when she is promoting her movies or singing, of course you're going to weigh in on it. I mean, I haven't. I am a Ariana Grande fan. I have noticed that she is not looking very healthy. She's saying that she addressed her physical appearance. When people thought she was healthy, when she was heavier in 2023, she claims that she was the unhealthiest she'd ever been. And so she's saying people need to stop commenting on other people's bodies. Now, I would generally say she's right about that. I mean, it can go both ways. People will comment when you're fat. People will comment when you're too thin. People will just comment. People will, comment whether they don't like your hair, they love your hair, whatever it is, because you are visible. You're putting yourself out there, and that is human nature. I think people can get way too vicious about it, but I think that is, to some degree, part of what you make your money on. Yeah. That is part of it.
I tell you, Ursula, what I am starting to learn as of recently, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've been, my buddy Henry, we and I have been talking about this. I don't think I realized how much we, and I say we, all of us, pay attention to physical appearance. I did not realize it. And I think I always, but now today, with Zoom and meetings and YouTube and
cameras
videos
everywhere.
And cameras everywhere, we focus on looks. Here's what I'll say. I'll say this. I would say that sometimes your career can go further if you appear into the popular category of appearance. That can be subjective, however you want to take it. And I used to believe that, yes, merit, character, what you think, but what happens is the appearance gives so many people the benefit of the doubt right away before they learn any of those things. And I'm trying
it can work conversely, too. Either you're getting the benefit of the doubt because you may be perceived as having a very pleasant appearance, or you're very attractive, or you're not given a whole lot of clout, or you're not given a whole lot of weight because people don't like the way you look.
Yeah, but I could go deeper into this topic, but I'm trying not to get in trouble. But you go into, you guys want to talk about servers in the restaurant industry? You want to talk about political people that do this for a living here? Some people are able to make it national. Some people aren't. And if their appearance sometimes would be different, they probably would make it national. This is the reason why
very superficial.
You guys ever turn on the national news and see it being and looking a little different?
Yeah, and I also see how women are held to a whole different standard than men are
different
when it comes to physical appearance.
Absolutely.
But on the Ariana Grande thing, and several people are bringing up, remember Karen Carpenter, Todd and Burian, 206. Several people are bringing that up.
I don't remember. Who's that?
She is the Carpenter is this singer who ended up dying. She had a eating disorder.
Okay.
And she ended up, she became like bone thin. And I believe, if you can look it up, Chef, I believe she died from complications of basically not eating enough. And I think there are people who are uniquely, actually concerned about Ariana Grande and her health. And then there are some people who are just cruel.
Can I share something with you, Ursula? Over the last 2 weeks, you know how many messages since I've shaved my beard?
Oh, yeah.
You know how many messages I've gotten on my appearance?
That? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I don't feel comfortable talking about this topic, but I'll leave you with this. I think that we as a society are way more superficial than we even imagine.
Yeah.
And I think it's gross. And I think a lot of money decisions, job decisions, career decisions get made based on this person looks this way, or if this person looks that way, they automatically assume that they are that way.
Yeah,
and
425, just to your point.
What?
425 says, fat dude here, I'm overlooked for a lot of jobs because they think I'm lazy.
I I am going 25% on this topic. If I went 100%, I'd probably lose my job. That's how scared I am about this topic, because I think that there's a conversation that really needs to be had about physical appearance. And I think we are losing this battle. Absolutely losing.
We need to bring it back up again. You give us 50%.
All right. Hey, Ursula and Chef said, G, take the wheel. Guess what I'm going to talk about? Did you see HBO's Hard Knocks with the Seahawks? Next, Gee and Ursula.
Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Mark is 76, and his shoulder pain was getting in the way of him playing baseball. You heard that right. Baseball.
Yeah, there's a whole league here of old guys pretending like we're kids.
The pain from severe arthritis just wasn't going away.
It was like a nerve type pain, and I couldn't sleep at night.
That's when Mark decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Well, if I can avoid surgery anytime, you'd probably be better off.
Mark is back out on the diamond playing baseball.
So I moved into this retirement community, and I talked about my shoulder, and these old people here, they got all excited about it, and 2 of them now have gone to see Mark Wagner. They don't like driving into Seattle, so I drive them in.
He more than recommends Dr. Wagner. He chauffeurs. So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at Cars4Kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, did you get a chance? Did you watch it? The Seattle Seahawks were on HBO's Hard Knocks. They're the team this season that's going to be on it. And I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but woo, was it good. Episode 1 already in the books. And I think some of you all got to see it. And if you did, you probably saw some of the things that I'm going to talk about. And so what I'm going to do is I decided to write down a whole bunch of my takeaways. I'll only give you a few. The first takeaway from this episode 1 is that the Seattle Seahawks might have the best practice setting in the NFL. I don't say might, they actually do. It was incredible. It's postcard worthy. That's how beautiful the scenery is right there on the shores of Lake Washington. Ursula?
Can't see it today very much. But then when they were filming, yes.
My next takeaway, Mike McDonald is a family man. You know, you can fake toughness. You can't fake that energy that you see when someone's loving on their family. Watching Mike McDonald, when his wife would come and see him, watching their little baby, when phone calls would come in on FaceTime of the little baby, that was incredible. Number 3, Leonard Williams, their defensive tackle. He is the alpha of this team. He's not loud. He's maybe not the biggest personality, but he is the Mufasa of the Seattle Seahawks. When he walks in, you see that he is the alpha. My next one is Sam Darnold. Something happened yesterday with Sam Darnold that I actually believe is one of the reasons why this team is so humble and makes them so great. Ursula, remember the ring ceremony when they were getting their rings and the rings fell from the sky? Well, this time when the rings fell from the sky, Sam Darnold dropped his ring on the floor. And they didn't edit that out. There is no quarterback. The Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, the Patrick Mahomes, all those quarterbacks, they would have not shown them dropping their Super Bowl ring. They showed that. And Sam Darnold was cool about it. I love that part of it. And I'll kind of go to this next one. I've said this before, and I'm glad everyone together is getting to see this, that this team genuinely likes each other. Now, this is going into my 24th season of being with the Seahawks, of being around them.
Mm-hmm.
I am I've never seen this. I've never seen a team with no divas. I've never seen a team that collectively loves each other. Now, I'm not saying, let me just say, make sure, because just in case somebody hears this and some of the guys hear this from the past, I'm not saying that you guys didn't love each other.
Yeah, because I thought there was some, squirrely activities during practice, like them getting
fighting?
into each other. Yeah.
Oh, that's normal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's normal. And they also, how they make up and everything. And so that part of it, I just wanted to say. There's one thing that happened, Ursula, that maybe I'm getting old, but the running backs coach for the Seahawks, he was talking to the team in the position group room. And the amount of times that he used the F word, I heard more F-bombs in a matter of 2 minutes than I've ever heard. And I've been around sports, I've been to school, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was uncomfortable. I even got on X and posted about it. It was a lot of F-bombs. But overall, the number one takeaway, the reason why I love what is being shown on HBO's Hard Knocks is I think the United States and everybody in football are getting to see something different. And usually you got the cool coach or high-strung coach, and you got the diva-type football players. With the Seahawks, you just got a real cool, flat head coach that says, hey, I know I'm awkward.
So it wasn't boring? I didn't watch it at all. No. Because there isn't the scandal. There isn't the. So is it good for TV?
It's amazing for TV. You know what it was like? It was like 95 degrees, and you got a fresh thing of lemonade. That's what it was like watching it. And I'm not just saying this. If you text in, if you saw it for yourself, I went into it thinking, okay, I don't know what this is going to be like. But what it's like is it is showing the football world that, hey, all of what you have been seeing, that rah, 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 and having to be this way, sometimes you could do it your way. I think the introverts of the world get to see Mike McDonald and be like, oh, okay, that's how it can be done. I just love everything about what's happening.
And this is not going to be bad news for the Seahawks after winning the Super Bowl, right? I mean, and I only say that because the Mariners are struggling so much right now.
I don't know. Just can't guarantee. Hey, just because I'm saying all these nice things about them and they look good on TV, that doesn't mean to win loss. They still got to go play football.
Yeah, they do. It's not going to prove to be a distraction or something that we can blame later, like, well, maybe they shouldn't have done the TV show.
31 other teams are trying to win the Super Bowl too. But other than that, if you didn't get a chance to see it,
now I got to go watch it.
I really suggest
Pam and Olympia
you see
says it was so good.
It was really good. It comes out every Tuesday, but you know how technology is. You can go back and see it. All right, Ursula, coming up at 11 o'clock hour, we got a lot of stuff to discuss. What you want to bring back?
Oh, we're going to bring back a little bit of what you all said about siblings and whether we are truly better. Are we giving a gift to our child if we bring another child into the family?
Okay.
Or are they perfectly fine just being solo?
All right, we'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
In Michigan, ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. ABC News predicts progressive candidate Abdul Al-Sayed will narrowly defeat moderate Representative Haley Stevens. Al-Sayed calling for all Democrats to unite.
Whatever differences that we might have had in the primary, they pale in comparison to what unifies us. A recognition that so long as we want to keep our democracy, that democracy better be working for people, and that all of us have to come together to make sure that we never let Mike Rogers see the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Al-Sayed expected to take on Rogers in November's general election. In Germany, U.S. officials have been told that authorities discovered a drone fitted with an explosive device and detonator were in fact found near Ukrainian Antonov cargo aircraft at Leipzig airport. German authorities classifying the incident as state security case and are not ruling out the possibility of sabotage. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran remain. President Trump insists a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz could come as early as today. This is ABC News. In Washington state, a suspected arsonist behind the Old Trails fire is in custody and facing charges. Dangerous wildfires continuing to burn, but fire crews are getting a bit of a break from conditions as weather improves. ABC's Alex Stone is outside Spokane with more.
They've had a lot of progress in the last 2 days or so because the winds have been non-existent here, and firefighters are telling us, in fact, I spent some time yesterday talking to an LA fire division chief. He says that these fires are not very active any longer because they had the weather change.
Many residents returning after evacuations are finding little, if anything, left of their homes. The Preakness Stakes moving to 3 weeks and a day after the Kentucky Derby and set to be run on a Sunday for the first time. Maryland Governor Wes Moore and Maryland Jockey Club announcing the move Wednesday. No Triple Crown race has ever been run on a Sunday in the century. I'm Michelle Franzen. ABC News.
Spokane's largest wildfire is now 13% contained. But first, a check on the roads with KIRO News Radio's Lori Hardy.
Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington, windows and doors. Linwood to Bellevue now 42 minutes. That's just about a 14-minute delay. Southbound 5 slows from Lake City Way. Everett to Seattle, a 13-minute slow down at 46 minutes. And we're slow from about 5 to 7 into Bellevue. Your lake bridges looking actually really good, both directions, both bridges. Federal Way to Seattle, an easy 27-minute drive. Northbound just slow from Swift Albro. And 32 minutes to Bellevue. I'm seeing a 167 slowdown approaching 405. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door. Plus free heat deflecting glass. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The man accused of sparking Spokane's largest wildfire appeared in court Tuesday as investigators revealed more details about his past.
Yes, Your Honor, this is the matter of the state of Washington versus Aaron Farinacci.
Farinacci made his appearance at Spokane County Court Tuesday. He faces arson charges and will remain in custody on a $1 million bond.
Of any lighters, matches, torch, or other fire-starting devices in the event the bond was in fact posted.
Hopefully, he'll be held accountable for all the action and all the devastation that he's caused to the city.
Paul Child is happy he spoke up, as he hopes this arrest can bring some closure to those who have lost so much.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reporting. As wildfire recovery efforts continue in eastern Washington, Boeing is stepping in with a $250,000 donation. The funding will be directed through the Innovia Foundation to help address immediate community needs and support long-term recovery in the Spokane region. Seattle police are searching for a suspect after a stabbing in Georgetown. Detectives say the victim was headed to a bus stop around 2 this morning near 4th Avenue South and South Front Street when an unknown man approached him. Words were exchanged, and the man stabbed him in the chest with a pocket knife. Here's Detective Brian Pritchard.
The suspect is described as a white male in his 30s with a thin build, and he was last seen wearing an orange jacket and blue jeans.
The victim is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or the SPD Violent Crime Tip Line. And now we know which candidates will face each other in the November election. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
Ron Davis, the Wilson-backed progressive Democrat up against longtime incumbent Jerry Pollitt for a seat in the state house, will finish in a distant third place in his primary, which means his race is over. Hannah Sabio Howell, who's taking on incumbent state senator Jamie Peterson, the author of the Millionaire's Tax, finished second, but with only 18% of the vote compared to Peterson's 70%. Mayor Wilson bucked the political system a month ago by not endorsing the incumbents. Instead, Peterson has the endorsement of Governor Bob Ferguson, Attorney General Nick Brown, and Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Now for your forecast. Sunny and smoky skies. Thursday, it continues with hazy and hot weather. And Friday, it'll be mainly sunny with highs in the mid-80s. Right now, it's about 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. How's your summer? That's what I want to know. Text in 888-973-5476. How about this? Let's keep it simple. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most amazing, where would you rate your summer? Ursula, where you at? Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm about 7. Do you know that we are already, August 5th? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I haven't fully lived this summer for whatever reason. And I'm starting to feel that angst about, it's coming to an end. I'm already seeing all the back-to-school ads. I'm hearing about Luke Ducey's daughter who's back in college. It reminds me of, oh my gosh, yeah, they're starting in August.
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't fully lived this summer. How about you?
10.
It's 10. I mean, but you also did the World Cup. I mean, you had quite the summer.
Yeah.
You really had quite
10.
the summer. I just feel like I'm still waiting for the big pop, for the big thing. And maybe that's going to come when I travel in September.
Okay.
But we'll see. Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
We've been covering these massive wildfires in Spokane. Tens of thousands of people are still waiting for the all clear to return to their homes. They still don't even know how bad the damage all is. And for families whose homes did get damaged or destroyed, getting that covered by insurance could be a big fat battle. And our reporter Luke Ducey is here to explain that.
Yeah, and that's based on what's been happening with wildfires in California with a bunch of insurance companies and a lot of people who, whose job it is to look out for folks. They're warning everyone here about that as well. You want the latest real fast on the Spokane fires?
Absolutely.
We've got some better news today.
Good.
The 3 fires that are burning in and around Spokane, firefighters say that they've gained 5% containment on one of those and 13% containment on the other 2, including the Old Trails fire. Remember, one person was arrested Monday on suspicion of setting the Old Trails fire. Arson is what we're talking about. Investigators say that a witness saw 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci, and that witness, here's what they told KIRO 7 TV.
Said, holy and where the smoke was rising was where that individual was standing, and I told myself, I said, that SOB started a fire.
Yeah, a lot of people pretty angry about that, and also angry about people still flying drones above all of the burned out areas and neighborhoods. And what that means is all the flight operations that are trying to douse areas with water, they have to stop. They can't fly in there because it's too dangerous if drones are flying around. Could get into the prop or the jet engine and turbine and cause horrible things. So a lot of people angry about that as well. For fire survivors, let's talk about the smoke damage, because a lot of people don't think or don't know that smoke damage is actually covered under insurance. We see the images of whole neighborhoods burned out and then, homes burned to the ground, and there's one or two houses that are unaffected. And you think, yes, those houses are saved. The consumer man, Herb Weisbaum, though, is warning all of us, he's a contributing editor at checkbook.org as well, that could be even worse of a problem for you.
That house may have been filled with toxic smoke from all the burning houses around it, lead and mercury and cadmium.
And a lot of homeowners are involved in lawsuits with insurance companies right now because they discovered toxic smoke damage. And then they went out and got independent inspectors to test their homes, and that didn't even matter.
The insurance companies didn't believe there was a problem. They didn't accept the tests. They sent their own people in, and they said, there's nothing wrong here. You can move in. I talked to people who said their houses were toxic waste sites.
So I asked the state office of the insurance commissioner here in Washington if that is something that's on their radar in Spokane and across the state. Here's spokesperson Aaron Van Tool.
We will certainly be on the lookout for any issues homeowners are having with claims.
So they're looking out for it. They're in Spokane today to help people file claims. The state is. They brought in insurance claimers from out of state to speed up the process, but it's something on everyone's radar.
We talked to a Spokane teacher yesterday, Kelsey, who shared with us that she lost her entire home. We have a picture of it on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page, but everything was burned down to the car that she had in her garage was the last thing that there was a shell of it was still there. And she hadn't been able to go back, but she was already starting to make calls. Now imagine that times tens of thousands of people all calling at the same time, wondering, where do I start? What do I do? What is covered? And it's so disappointing if you're learning that it's going to be now a battle to get some of that covered as well.
Absolutely. Where do I stay? Where do I get clothes? Where do I get food? Especially if you don't have family in the state or the area. That is happening right now. And so hopefully, the state is there. They're bringing in insurance adjusters to get the process going for people. But it's scary times.
Luke, I'm glad you did this, and it's one of the reasons why you did this interview is because of the insurance claims and battles that did happen in California with that fire. And because there's a lot of people who don't really, like right now, if you're listening, do you exactly know what type of insurance you have when you're home? Do you know what the payout would be in those situations? And you doing this interview right here, this is going to open up some eyes for a lot of people.
There's another thing going on around in our state as well, in other states, where a lot of people have cabins in the woods, have for years. A lot of family homes that have been, through the generations. I know just last year, and this was born out of all those wildfires in California as well, insurance companies. I have a friend who actually got a letter from an insurance company that said, we are no longer going to insure your home unless you build a sufficient fire perimeter around your house. It's, the house has been there for forever, including, like some 30 feet of gravel. And that means tearing down trees and clearing things out, which is a smart idea to have. But what's new about that is insurance companies actually coming out and saying you're no longer insured, which you have to have if you're a homeowner. And that's happening more and more across our state and other areas as well as, fire seasons get stronger, longer. Here we are in the beginning of August.
Right.
We're not
even in the thick
Just
of it.
Look out your windows.
Yes.
Smoke.
And how many burning fires are there right now?
17 major fires across our state. That's just major fires. There's also a lot of small fires, but all this smoke that we're seeing is coming down from British Columbia. There are fires in British Columbia in areas that are so remote, you just got to let it burn. You can't get there, and you wouldn't want to get there anyway. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about, I know a lot of folks who go to Chelan. I usually go to Chelan in the summertime, and some people had to leave Chelan because some of the smoke was so thick over there as well. We haven't even paid attention to that because of what's going on in Spokane. But yeah, it's awful. Luke, you've also been covering some other stories. We did have our primary election.
That's right.
And I'm curious, before we even get to some of the results, text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Did you actually end up voting? Because right now I'm looking at the turnout and the numbers are
it's low.
Abysmal. Abysmal. So text us because y'all were promising us that you did vote. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, what were some of your takeaways? What were some of the big things that you noticed in the results?
Several key races to watch and that we're still watching, but several things have kind of happened that it's kind of almost like foreshadowing, about with the November election and maybe politics in our region from here on out as well. Let's start with the two congressional races that a lot of people are talking about. Incumbent Democrat Adam Smith has a huge lead now in the District 9 race for Congress with 51% of the primary vote. He's going to face Republican Doug Bassler, who grabbed 29% of the vote. But one of the other headlines in that race, Independent Shama Sawant, the longtime city council person for Seattle, very outspoken, as we know, finished a distant third, way back there, which ends her political comeback.
I was going to say the Shama Sawant area is over.
It's over in this race.
Anyway.
Tight race in the 3rd Congressional District. Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez will face John Braun in November. At last check, they were both tied with 39% of the vote, so it's going to be a close election in November. And also, we want to talk about two progressive candidates who were backed by Seattle Mayor, kind of an unprecedented backing and endorsement from Katie Wilson. Well, they have both flopped in their primaries. Ron Davis, who was up against an incumbent, Jerry Pollitt, in the House, will finish a distant third, which means his race is now over. Mayor Wilson also backed challenger Hannah Sabio Howell, who was up against the incumbent state senator Jamie Peterson. You know Jamie Peterson because he sponsored and drafted the millionaire's tax. Well, Peterson won the primary by 70% of the votes. That's what he carried over the second place challenger, Sabio Howell, who finished with 18% of the vote. So she will be on the November ballot, and they will both go head-to-head in November. But the distance between the two of them is just very clear, and kind of a message a lot of people are thinking about progressive candidates for the state. Now, when it comes to the city of Seattle, there is a progressive candidate, Nilu Jenks, who won close to 50% of the votes in that primary race for Seattle City Council. The next best person, Julie Kang, took 36%, so they will face each other as well in November. But Jenks, if a win in November would kind of shift the balance of power on city council in Seattle to the progressives as well. So voters saying no to progressives in the state level, but when it comes to the city of Seattle, kind of an endorsement for that progressive mentality when it comes to all the changes that are on the table under Seattle Mayor Wilson's administration.
Well, it goes to show, I think it is basically, to me, saying for those few people who voted, Katie Wilson's endorsement was more of a liability than an asset. But, Luke, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. So, Gee, we brought up a couple of other topics during the show today, and we wanted to bring them back. And I want to start with the one that you said you were only going 25%. If you went 100%, you said you might lose your job. So now I'm encouraging you, because we got so many people weighing in on this, and this had to do with appearance and how, bottom line, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we've become way too much of a superficial society.
Yeah, and we have. And the reason why is because I just don't know how far I can go with this topic, because, look, I think appearance is a very sensitive and subjective topic. I think that what we think and deem to be like, oh, this is the picture-esque person, this person, oh, you look so good, you should be on the magazine. Well, some people that look on the magazine, sometimes they aren't good looking to other people. Like, so the whole thing is subjective. And the reason why this topic has come up is it has come up because I think today, more so than any time, a time where Instagram and social media and Teams meetings and Zoom and everything's about
Cameras.
You go out to dinner, you just ate a big meal, and then afterwards they're like, hey, everybody, let's get a picture. And then you're like me, you're standing there, you're sucking it all in, and the person is taking too long to take the picture. You know what I mean? And oh my goodness, let me see that before you post it. And oh, that's not my good side. I need to stand on my, like, it's all kinds of stuff. And the reason, seriously, everybody's got their sides.
Oh, yeah, we do.
But I'm bringing this up is because I think as a society, we see people, the first thing we do is we judge them. We think, oh my goodness, they look this way, they might be lazy. They look this way, they might not know much. And we're just at a time where I think that appearance sometimes can, if it is subjective enough where people think that person is attractive, then that person usually goes further than someone that does not appear attractive.
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many studies that have proven that, like whether it's waitresses getting bigger tips or it is job candidates who are more apt to get the job even though they might not be the more qualified person. And then there are people who say, well, it can go so far. I'm curious what you're holding back, and I'm not trying to get you fired.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you're holding back because we had a bunch of people who weighed in.
Okay.
And you said that a lot of people have been weighing in on you shaving. I think it has been very positive in terms of how they're responding to you being clean shaven, right?
Oh, it's been
but
positive.
It makes you uncomfortable.
It does. It has been positive. And what it has done to me, is like in the past, I'll see someone, I'll be like, oh my goodness. And like, oh yeah, I've been going to the gym. Like, man, you look great. And I'm making this real exclamation point of, oh my goodness, you look great. And meanwhile, what am I saying?
That you didn't look good before?
You know, it could be taken that way, but no, that's not what I meant. What I meant was you look great, you look good. So why are we?
That's been the beginning of time. I mean, that's how people have been.
But like, hey, oh my goodness. Lois, I haven't seen you in a long time. You look great. You look like you've gained 25 pounds. You look amazing. How come we don't do it on the other side of things? Right? We don't
because
say it on that side.
Society values you, and that's the thing. The whole reason we're bringing this up is because Ariana Grande has taken herself out of the spotlight because people were just going way too hard on her appearance, specifically about how thin she has gotten. And people are saying Karen Carpenter vibe, or saying she's got an eating disorder and she is a role model for millions and millions of young girls. And what she's doing is unhealthy. And she's claiming she's the healthiest she's ever been. So we had a bunch of people text in. Anne from Kitsap said, oh, gee, bless your heart. You are so young sometimes. My life has been critically defined by how I look. I'm surprised when other people don't notice that until now. And then someone else said, my father was as thin as a beanpole. He ate more than anyone anywhere. He also did plenty of physical labor, including farm work, construction, and his job in mail order. He worked 2 jobs, sang in a choir, maintained our mini orchard, and died of natural causes in his 90s. But people always nagged him about being too thin until they saw him go back for seconds and thirds at picnics and all-you-can-eat restaurants.
Yeah. Here's another comment that I'll have to say about appearance. I believe that no matter how you look right now, yesterday, the best shape of your life, doesn't matter. There's a good chance that you weren't satisfied. There's a good chance that you looked at yourself and you're like, oh, I need to do this, and oh, I need to do that. This needs to happen and everything. And so I think what you're hearing from me, Ursula, is you're hearing a look. As long as you yourself, you feel good about you, right? I think that right there is the most important thing. And I think we need to do a better job of, when it comes to Ariana Grande, like, we automatically are just assuming, people are assuming that something's wrong with her, right? What if there's nothing wrong with her? What if she's great? And what if the public pressure that we're doing makes there a problem for her? She could be fine. I don't know. Here's the reason why you said you haven't even weighed in on it, and we're only bringing this topic up is because it was a topic in the news.
Yes. I mean, she made her people made a statement saying she is going to remove herself because it's gotten too far.
Right.
And I think that is what happens on social media. People take it so far that, I mean, they take it so far that it becomes cruel, or they take things too far. People end up getting death threats. I'm not saying that that's what she got, but people can just... what do you call it? Parasocial lives, when you're living through somebody else and then they think they own you, kind of thing.
Right.
And I think it's gotten too much in her case.
Now, so when people lose pounds, when they do, do you think the new thing is now like,
you look healthy?
That person took you. They took something.
Yes.
If
someone
that's
has
the
lost
new
a
thing
dramatic
now.
amount of weight,
Right.
I think there is a natural assumption that you're on some kind of GLP-1 medication.
Right. I had a buddy of mine, Ursula, who was upset with his friend that has been showing workout pictures and everything like that. And he says he feels he's being dishonest. I said, well, what's he being dishonest about? Is he working out? He says, yes. However, he's showing that he's working out, but he hasn't told everybody the real reason why he's lost so much weight. And I just don't. If someone asks you and you want to tell the truth or not about that, that's one thing.
Yeah, but I want to make one thing clear. Even if you are on a medication, you still need to do the work. And it shouldn't be a knock on somebody that they're taking something that helps them.
That's my point. That's my point right there. Oh, so that person's knees are a lot better? That they don't have that heavy weight?
Yeah, now they're no longer pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Fantastic. All right, agree to disagree next, Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
How sweet it is!
50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
It is great!
Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues. 505.
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Some good news for the Pacific Northwest as weather gives crews a break from fighting those devastating wildfires. ABC's meteorologist Samara Theodore.
Specifically up towards Seattle, Spokane, we got a lot of cloud coverage over the past couple of days. Winds became calmer, temperatures dropped a bit. And so this gave firefighters a fighting chance at fighting these fires. Meanwhile, some of the stronger winds and dry conditions persisted in places like Medford, Aspen, Colorado. As a result, we have red flag warnings in place for those areas.
We're hearing from the man credited with helping investigators find the arson suspect in Spokane. KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo reports.
Paul Child says he knew something was off when he saw a man acting suspiciously in the woods on Saturday.
He was bent over, looking towards, doing something in the grass and to the tree line area.
Child says he made eye contact with the man and then later saw smoke where the Old Trails fire was just beginning.
And I said, that OSOB started a fire because it was in the exact same spot that he was standing. So we called 911.
His call is what led police to Aaron Farinacci. Investigators say the 37-year-old was arrested on Monday in possession of matches and a lighter. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Farinacci previously served time for killing his father in Arizona. The news is unsettling for many residents who lost everything. Chelsea Riley says her parents' home is now a pile of ashes.
It changes things. It kind of, you could make sense of it when it was an act of God somehow, but now that it's arson, someone did this to our family. And that's hard to wrap our brains around.
A judge set Farinacci's bail at $1 million. He's due back in court tomorrow. Amazon is donating $350,000 to vendors affected by the deadly gang-related shooting at the Bite of Seattle. The company tells the Seattle Times the money will help food and merchandise sellers recover losses after the festival ended in chaos when gunfire killed 3 people and injured 4 others. A 15-year-old faces assault and gun charges, and Seattle police say they're closing in on multiple others who may have been involved. He's furry, he's famous, and tonight he's taking over T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are honoring the viral ballad raccoon known as Jimothy with a special theme night featuring exclusive merchandise and collectible rookie fan cards. And due to high demand, he'll be back again on Friday. And now for Check on the Roads, let's go to Lori Hardy.
Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Linwood to Bellevue now 39 minutes. That's only a 3-minute slowdown. Southbound 5 slows just from Lake City Way. And Linwood to Seattle, a 10-minute slowdown. Your lake bridges right now doing very well in both directions. Federal Way to Seattle, an easy 25-minute drive. Northbound I-5 slows actually just as you head past I-90, 28 minutes to Bellevue, and southbound I-5, I'm seeing some slowing as you approach State Route 101. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
For your weather forecast, heat and haze continue today. Highs will be in the mid-80s. Right now, it's about 74 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Kashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:35. You're listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. Our Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is open for you, 888-973-5476. 888-973 KIRO. It is time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Chef's not here, so I'm going to try to do double duty here. Gee, earlier in the show, we talked about whether kids are really better off growing up with siblings. And this was based on some new research that shows only children are generally just as happy and as well adjusted. And a sibling is no guarantee of a lifelong friend. And sometimes, according to this article in The Atlantic, that relationship can even become a source of stress or harm. So I guess bottom line, agree or disagree with this statement. Parents should never have another kid primarily to give that first child a sibling.
Disagree. And the reason why I disagree is because the giving the child a sibling, that isn't really the gift that you think it is. Creating an environment for the sibling in your child, now that's the real flex right there. Sometimes it works. You have amazing siblings, like in the case of Ursula, your 2 sons, they love each other. Fantastic.
Yeah, they're even living together right now.
Right. In the case of me, not so much rocking with my sibling. And for some of you out there, you have things going great with your siblings. And if you are, yes, I salute you. Tip of the cap with you. Also, when you get a chance, thank your parents, because I would imagine that your parents helped with that environment. But there's just some situations where it doesn't occur. And agreeing, again, I am pointing to the parents because I truly believe that most often that is the reason why. There was a culture, there was a rivalry that was established within that culture of the house or within the parenting that did not go right, and that's why there's a sibling rivalry. Like I said, not all, but most.
No, I think you nailed it, actually. And I, as someone who is the 4th out of 5 children, and also who is the parent of 2 sons, and I would have liked to have more, but after the second one, it was clear that was probably not a good idea, just health-wise. But my parents did not have the greatest relationship. They had a lot of tumult. There was a lot of fighting in our family. But the one thing that they did very, very well was really instill the idea of you've only got each other. You guys are a family. And so even with all the craziness and dysfunction and all of that, even when, siblings were struggling and there were fights, it was still very much family.
Right.
And so in that, I will say they instilled that whole thing. But a lot of people, I think this was the topic that most people texted in about.
Yeah.
And so, for example, Rihanna in Arlington says, honestly, it's more about being an adult. When your parents are gone, you have zero family left unless you have a family of your own by then. Why would you want your adult child to be alone? I would rather have my kid have someone they might not get along with than be an only child.
Great.
Which, I mean...
Great.
Rihanna did bring up a good point, and that's what I saw with my husband, is that as an only child, he was the sole bearer of all the responsibility having to do with his parents.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have the one of the many graces for me was that dealing with the challenges of parents, aging parents, I did have siblings to help. Right. Rob in Tacoma says, I am fortunate to have an older sister and younger sister. When I was young, my older made sure that I dressed cool. Plus, I ended up becoming friends with some of the older kids, which helped. My little sister gives me a female point of view for relationships with women when I got older. I love your show.
Yeah. Let's see. Christy on Bainbridge. She says, well, as a mom of 2 daughters who not really get along or want to be friends, it's not the parents' fault. Okay. I raised them equally and loved them the same and always encouraged them to be friends, but various circumstances and one child was more difficult due to ADHD, and that annoyed the other one, and so sometimes it's just life. It's my greatest regret, though, that they aren't close, and it hurts my heart. And to Christy, and to which I would say not all the time it is the parents' fault. I made sure to clear that. But then sometimes it is.
Yes. Pamela in Black Diamond says, blood does not make you family. Hey. Some of the best influences I've ever had have been outside my family circle.
And the last one here is Jamie in Seattle. Says, I wanted 2 to 3 kids, but after having a baby and doing it all by myself, I couldn't have more. I do know my kid wants a sibling, but I couldn't afford it, and I couldn't mentally handle another kid. My current kid is very lovely and well taken care of. My husband is a triplet, and they don't talk at all.
Okay, and then there's that. Absolutely.
Now, that's a first.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard of a twins or triplets not. Yeah.
I know.
Now, that would have to be rough.
Yeah. I want to know. I want to know the story. Like, what happened there? Absolutely.
Have you ever heard of twins or something not talking?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is something like
It's not very often, though. It's not. It's more rare, I would think, because you would think that you'd be in sync with that twin.
Nick, you have a sibling, right?
Yeah, I've got an older sister. Yeah.
You guys get along?
Yeah, pretty well. Her birthday's next month. We're about like a year and a half, 2 years apart. But of course, when we were younger, we'd have our sibling rivalries about sharing toys and what movies we were going to watch on the TV. But the older we've gotten, we've come together really well.
Okay, I also think, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know any different. I also think that matters too, how far apart in age you are. My sister and I are 8 years apart.
That's like a whole nother lifetime, honestly.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that 1.5, 2 years, 3 years apart might have a better chance.
Yeah. I mean, our sons were 4 years apart, and even that was almost too far apart.
Right.
Okay, coming up next, we will have one little bonus agree to disagree, because I got to bring up the Mariners, and the question keeps popping up, and I'm curious if your answer has changed regarding the current manager, Dan Wilson. So we'll ask about that. But the other question I want to ask is, what is your number one midnight or late night snack? You heard that Jimothy has a snack named after him, and if you didn't hear that, we'll explain that. But do you have a favorite midnight snack? Okay, I know you're not snacking much, G, but you've got to have something that, like, this is just what hits right.
All right. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
A wildfire disaster unfolding just east of us.
The Spokane fires
destroyed hundreds of homes and forced tens of thousands to evacuate.
Unprecedented stories of loss, devastation, and heartbreak.
It was a beautiful home. It really was.
And there was a lot of terror because it's loud, it's hot.
Join KIRO News Radio in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, get early access to our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. There's been a rash of reports of fake contractors ripping homeowners off for roof replacements and other jobs. That's why it is so important to know the company coming to your home. And that's why I put my name behind Valentine Roofing. Every customer can expect the Valentine experience. That's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. So if you think your roof is on its last legs, if you want to beat the rain and beat the mad rush, Valentine Roofing is now offering priority scheduling for your roof replacement. That means when you call Valentine Roofing today, they can get your job started within 3 weeks of signing the agreement. And they make the process so simple. You can expect an estimate with transparent pricing and options that fit your needs in about an hour. Since 2008, thousands of Western Washington homeowners like me have chosen Valentine Roofing for their roofing needs, and you can trust them too. So call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word. It was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife Nicole to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, everybody. What's happening? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. All right. So one of the things we need to talk about, because Ursula brought it up, is the Mariners. That's right. The Mariners right now. And the question Ursula asked, what did you ask, Ursula? Where's your mouth?
Okay, so just for people who aren't following it as closely, Dan Wilson last year led the Mariners to, 90 wins, an American League West title, and the M's were within one victory of the World Series. It's as close as we ever got, right? Mm-hmm. But this year, what are they? 55 and 59? Nick, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, somewhere around that vicinity. 55, 59, 4 games under 500. And they've been kind of, hovering and dancing around that 500 mark for the majority of the season.
And I don't know how many times I will hear my husband go, "Oh, not again." I mean, this has been the season of not again. The offense has struggled to score. The defense ranks near the bottom of baseball. And so the question, this would be a kind of an agree to or disagree, is it time for the Mariners to fire Dan Wilson?
Nick, you want to add some context and everything before I weigh in on this?
I think there's been a lot of increased pressure when it comes to trying to find a new leader, manager in the dugout. And as the season goes along and they keep staying around that 500 mark, I think the argument is being reinforced that maybe they should be changing the manager because, everybody loves Dan Wilson in the area, one of the great catchers aside from Cal Raleigh on the Mariners squad. But it seems like there's just that sense of urgency is not there with the team. They just think, they're good enough, or maybe they're just not getting that push that like they had last year, where they had so much hunger to have a playoff run. I just don't see that this time around. And we were just talking about this month, the schedule they have. They got to play the Rays, Yankees, Astros, Brewers, Cubs, Phillies, Jays, and Sox. If they can't have a push after this month, it might be too late by September. And then if they can't make the playoffs, then we're having a stronger conversation about the future of Dan Wilson.
Yeah. Well, this is a very easy answer for me, Ursula. The answer is absolutely not. Dan Wilson should have the same amount of time that Jerry DiPoto has had. Jerry DiPoto is in his 10th season with the Mariners. He got time to do things. And by the way, Dan Wilson's second season as manager, first full season as manager because he took over the year before. In his first full season, my question to everyone is this. Trivia. What manager has taken the Mariners in its 50 seasons of baseball the furthest? Oh, I'll answer. Dan Wilson. Ding, ding, ding. Now, imagine this. Imagine having what arguably they still have a chance. They're still hovering around 500, like Nick said. But imagine people being so upset because right now we're all upset. People are upset because of the expectations going into this season, considering they were close, very close to a World Series. And the fact that this is happening, so it's not going as well. The hitting is not going as well. Julio Rodriguez isn't hitting like he was before. Cal Raleigh, for sure, ain't hitting that way. But the first thing we want to do is people want to get rid of the manager? Okay. For whom? What manager's going to? Because remember, 50 seasons of Mariners baseball. Nick, how many times have the Mariners made the playoffs in 50 seasons? 5 times?
Yeah,
6
somewhere
times?
5, 6 times.
No, y'all act like the Mariners was going to the prom every year. Come on now. And again, there's a little turbulence. So imagine being married. You've been married all this time. You're the new husband in the relationship. And you're the new husband. You show up. You've taken this new family, and you took them on trips and vacations, and they've seen life like never before. And then you have a rough patch one year, and the whole family's like, yep, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's done.
But I love it. And I just don't watch them closely enough. And I'm not going to be the fair weather fan because I'm just not qualified to weigh in on that. I mean, again, I've been to one Mariners game all season long. Nick, are you also willing to hold on to Dan Wilson?
I think G brought up a good point where he's the first manager to have the Mariners be sent to Game 7 of an ALCS. And so I would actually prefer, the question being more about should we keep Jerry DiPoto as I don't think he's the GM right now, but he's like in the upstairs, president, because he's been there for almost about a decade at this point. So you have to question what has his success been, or how many times have he been to the playoffs in this last decade. Dan Wilson, this is only the second full season as a manager, and he's been to the playoffs already once. So I feel like he should have more slack.
I'll say this. Whether you agree with me, and by the way, I could be wrong, but all I'm saying is a manager that has taken the Mariners further than any other manager, do they not deserve a little bit of room?
Great. Yes.
I agree
with you.
That's all. And you know what? And in 2 years, you might say, gee, I told you so. Great. But at least get a man a few years.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Okay, I wanted to squeeze one more in because I asked everybody what's their favorite midnight snack because Jimothy has a snack.
You're not going to have time for words to live by.
I know.
Yeah, you got to get to it.
I know. Oh, my gosh, it's 5.
That's what I'm saying.
11:55.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What do you got?
We'll go with this.
All right.
Be kind because everyone you meet is fighting some kind of battle.
Whew. Now, that's a good one. Nick, what do you got, good brother?
Well, our kid's better off if there's a sibling in the mix, or is going solo with one kid okay for the family fix? And even though the parents ultimately set the tone, I would think it's good to give kids company than being alone.
And I can depend on.
But it's a given that there'd be some fights amongst the group when it comes to sibling rivalries and toys shared in the loop. But there's no firing the parents, though, like a baseball manager. You got to stick with who you got when they have kids.
Hey. Good stuff. All right. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, thank you, Lori. Be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding gets underway at 10 a.m. Thursday, August 6th, and closes at 10 a.m. August 13th. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat is.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News. Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
My name is Jeff. I live in Northern California, and I am 65 years old, actually 65 and a half as of 2 days ago. I've been practicing medicine for 37 years. People have this impression that doctors know insurance, that they understand insurance. Let me assure you they do not. Medicare is complex. It's really complex, and the government did not make it easy to understand. Chapter really helps you understand it. They talked me through what my options were, and then they helped me tailor make a plan. One of the things that really impressed me with Chapter was the human touch element of it. I was not talking to an AI agent. I was talking to a real person who answered my questions. And not only that, but they remembered the particulars from our last conversation. They really weren't just being a representative, that they actually cared about me as a person. And that sounds cliche, but it makes all the difference in the world.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today. Again, that's chapter.com.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you